Good day, Kamal. I just wanted to bring you this short video. We are official. Welcome to Primus Web. You are part of the network now. So, network of results. We're going to get you results, and this is the beginning of essentially a 24/7 operation. We are live. Okay, we're not looking back. The strategy is in motion, and we're moving. Okay, so let's get started. Again, this will be short because I know you're a busy person and there's a lot to cover. But, anyways, we talked about now that we have the site up and running and all the bells and the whistles are working, everything is working in concert, we have to talk about traffic sources because now this is where we start selling the product. So, it's a completely different set of rules. We were in the development phase, now we're in the marketing phase. So from here on out, obviously we talked about well, I'll get to that later about Magento. But anyways, um, now we got to move on to traffic sources. So we're going to use social media and then the traditional PPC methods, pay-per-click methods. So with social media, we're using Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, Tumblr, and then Instagram. Instagram will be coming soon. So let's start with Facebook. So with Facebook, we set up the page. Got the landing page here. We got 29 likes so far. We're promoting the page. So most of what you see here, like what you see with a lot of your competitors, um, like Undergear. What you see with them is, let's just go here really quickly. What you see with their Facebook is most of their uh, posts have to do with their photos. This kind of stuff does really well on Facebook. So you see most of it is product, and some of what they do and some of what they talk about is things related to the product. So you'll have contributors like the underwear blog that contributes, but mostly you have product, and this is awesome because we have a lot. Like for instance, this right here is a collage, which I can do very easily. But most of the mentions here, most of the posts are about the product. So um, and if this might look familiar to you. But anyways, so this is the direction we'll be going in. We can make collages, things like that, hashtags to do some cross promotional effort between Facebook and Twitter. So given that we have so many images, we have like 700 images. There's a wealth of material that we can use for post. So content is king, especially in the world today with just the shift in e-commerce and the direction it's going. People are visual. They like to see things before they buy them. Especially online. That's more so true online. Um, Things that are visually appealing will sell better. Uh, because you also have to think about it. People don't go to a store. They don't see the product. They don't try on the product. So how we present the product to them and things like this, these pictures, is important. But anyways, all of what you're seeing right now is doable. I have some really, really good photo editing software. Like this, for instance, is a collage. That's the trend right now with photo editing is collages, like that, things like that. So as you see here, some of our first posts are similar. We only have two up right now, so like I said, most of the content is going to be centered around the product, so that people see the product, they get the visuals, and it eventually leads them back to the site. Now, another thing with Undergear that you see is every time they post something, there's a link, and guess where that goes? Right back to the product, right back to the website. So that's what we're doing too. That's the strategy. That's how they get a lot of their traffic. So when you have 133,000 fans like they do, you got to think about it. In Facebook, not every one of their fans sees a post in their newsfeed, particularly with Undergear. So you're looking at probably around 10%. So you think about it, like 135,000, but only 200 likes. That's because of Facebook's algorithm. Not every post is eligible for the newsfeed. So 197 likes, that's still good. But look, there's a link right there. Okay, so a lot of people that see this and they like it, they're gonna click on the link, and guess what? Boom, traffic. And then with the analytics we have set up, we can see where the referral sources are coming up. So we talked about analytics and why it was important. Uh, Remember, without analytics and without data, it's like driving down the road without no vision, without any vision. So the analytics that we have set up, they're for the most part formidable. This is a direct feed from Google Analytics. And as you can see, it'll tell you who the top referrers are. So in this case specifically, if it were Facebook, we know where the traffic is coming from, so that way we can act on that knowledge and utilize our assets with on the best platform. So this is the Google Plus one for analytics, and then we also have site stats. Obviously, the views went up to 211 because we're promoting the site right now. But so let's take a look. Okay, so we have 215 visits right now, and it'll tell you where is this coming from. So today, okay, top referrers. This is not complete. Excuse me. This is not 100% complete because this is happening in real time. So by tomorrow, we'll know where the top referrers are. But it's just because it's a limitation of the site stat software we have, because this actually comes with WordPress. But the Google Analytics, if we want it in real time, like today right now, it's saying how many views we got. If we want it in real time, we'll be able to determine that on Google Analytics. And I told you that. Actually, this is new actually, so look at this right here. All right, Facebook. All right, so we want the analytics in real time. We'll be able to determine that. Another thing we can do is when we go to the site. All right, so remember we talked about AW stats. That's going to be more accurate. I'm just trying to give you an idea, okay, of the analytics that are involved. So the password has changed here so many times. So all right. So we talked about analytics. You know, we need to know the analytics. We need the logs, because without it, we're not going to be able to determine exactly what we're doing. So let's just take a look at the site right now. All right. So as you see, we've had 699 unique visitors between April 1st and April 24th. But today, we can see in real time what's going on. This number will change. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so this is all happening in real time. Okay, so this is the stuff that we're going to have to lean on to get an idea of where the referrals are coming from, and then to utilize that information, to use that information, that actionable intelligence to allocate the assets the best way. Right? So this is why analytics is important. But we already went over this, so I don't want to take up too much time. But as you see, here, okay, so 699 visits between that. So let's just do today. April. Can you go back that far? We'll go April 2014. Just for today, though. April All right, let's see what today is. All right. So today, thus far, we've had 471 unique visits. Sorry, page views, and we have 687 pages that were viewed. This says 1,400 hits. So this is a little bit more accurate because it's coming from the survey. Okay, so most of the traffic is coming from the United States. And this is probably from, what's his name? Nico, because he's in the Philippines, right? So analytics is important. So we talked about Facebook. And if I'm a little fuzzy minded, excuse me, but it's been a long day. And I haven't had my green juice yet. Okay, now let's talk about Twitter. Okay, so for Twitter, again, I hate to use them again, but Under Gear, they have a very similar strategy in which we're using. Okay, so they have a lot of followers on Twitter too. Okay, 7,695. They have a larger footprint, like a lot of retail places on Facebook, because and this is the thing that's really cool, is not a lot of retailers have figured out how to use Twitter, and I'm a master at Twitter. So this is where, besides Google Plus, because Facebook, Facebook is Facebook, okay? But besides, and there's a lot of competition on Facebook, but besides like Google Plus, Twitter presents for retailers, especially retailers like you, presents one of the biggest opportunities. Because if you tweet a coupon, okay, and it's a link that goes right back to the website, people are more likely to engage with a tweet than they would like a Facebook post. Okay, so the Twitter crowd is a little bit different. They act a little bit more quickly. Okay, so Twitter presents a huge opportunity. But as you see, and as you have already seen here, this is the profile. We have some interaction going on because we have a promotional tweet going on. So people are communicating about the brand already. Uh, Somebody wrote this, so hot. We have a few followers that came. So there's definitely some activity that's going on Twitter. Like I said, Twitter, I believe, has a lot of potential. There's not a lot of your competition isn't on here, and with the 7,000 that Undergear has there, and then obviously you have uh, this guy here. So like the Andrew Christians, here he is. Um, so he's pretty active on Twitter. Um, his whole, they are very good. First of all, they've been on Twitter for since 2008, but that company is very good at creating their content. So they create the content around the brand. So there's a lot more engagement with their respective like social media profiles as a result, and then obviously that's leading to a lot of sales. 950,000 followers is a lot. So if you look at their page, and then when I was looking at their page, they're doing a lot of what I'm doing for the brands that I work for. They're creating stories around the brand. They're not always promoting like the sort of like the offering or what the product is. They're sort of like creating these stories around what the products are. So those are the things we need to do on here, versus like just putting up images of the product, like maybe taking like a video of the photo shoot, editing it with like some music, things like that. Making things more like interactive, more media, um, let's say, sort of like creating like this the media the persona around the brand is what's gonna like really differentiate yourself. But he has a huge following on Twitter, and a lot of the times they're just posting a lot of really really provocative pictures, and people just eat that up. A lot of a lot of those people may never actually go buy from there, but they'll always remember. They'll say, "Oh, if I need this, I'll just go there." So that's why Twitter is, like I said, it presents a huge opportunity for you here. There's not a lot of your competition on space, in this space, so there's a lot of opportunity to grow right now. All right, so we have. This is actually new. Twitter has like an actual Twitter profile page. So when people land on the page, they'll see this. This actually just was active last week. I love this banner here. It's just so clean versus what we had before. And this is really, really good stuff. But, anyways, when people arrive on the page, they'll see this. Okay. So I just wanted to show you the campaigns we have going on right now. This is just more like an introduction campaign to introduce people to the profile. Okay, so we have 382 engagements and $38 that we spent so far. All right, so it's a promoted tweets campaign, just strictly to get people to try and follow and have a look at the actual uh, profile, and hopefully they follow. So, like I said, there's a lot of opportunity here. People love media on Twitter, especially if you're a brand and you're promoting like different style trends, things like that. But Andrew Christensen and Undergear, they definitely could teach. They're a good template to follow, sort of, so to speak, in terms of how we want to communicate with our prospective customer. Okay, so that does Twitter, and like I said, this is really looking nice. There's a lot of potential here, man. A lot of potential here. Right? So we're done with Twitter. Let's just go to Google Plus really quickly. I know you gotta go. So we have Google Plus, our Google Plus profile page here. No followers. We're gonna get some though. Google Plus. So why are we using it? Obviously with Google Plus, it's good for the search engine results. So when people type in, and you'll see this like starting next week, when people type in the clothing hub, right? When they type that in a Google search, okay? What Google will do, because the site is now verified by Google, what Google will do is will put their little Google Plus profile right there. And Google determines that. Okay, so the more we contribute to the post, the more we create the content, the more likely it is that that will show up next to the profile image. But it's up to Google. Google's algorithm determines that. Google determines that. So SERP is important when people are, especially when you have a Google AdWords campaign running, you want to make sure you have a Google Plus profile, because that way it's like a sort of like a win-win situation. When people say when people follow you on Google Plus, or when people actually go to your site and they see your like Google Plus badge and they follow you too, they know you're at least connected, socially, and that you're like sort of like have that cool factor. So it's definitely um, one of the best ideas to have this profile here. It's great for the search engine results. What Facebook is to social media, basically Google Plus is to, let's say, the search engine marketing. So obviously they're two different things, and Facebook is primarily strictly social media. Google is a search engine with a social media component to it. But a lot of people are using YouTube. YouTube, 800 million plus people visit YouTube a day. So Google owns YouTube, and they also, obviously they run Google Plus. So when you connect those two things together, and when we create our YouTube channel, um, you hire a videographer and all that. Um, the Google Plus page is definitely going to get a lot of exposure. And so there's a lot of potential here too. Like I said, search engine marketing is going to be critical, going to be essential to this whole operation. You want to make sure, well, primarily because with search engine marketing, you have your targeted customer. They're specifically putting in keywords inside um, the search engine to, and they're looking for the product versus like with Facebook and Twitter, it's sort of like, distraction marketing. They're not necessarily shopping. Do you see? But you're sort of on those networks to generate some leads and also to create a buzz around the brand. With search engine marketing, you're actually marketing to people who are looking for those things. So it's targeted marketing. Okay. So that's enough about Google Plus. We're also on Tumblr. All right. Tumblr has a marketing program. Very similar. Tumblr has a oh, there it is. Right. Tumblr has a marketing program very similar to Twitter. I haven't enrolled in that yet because I just wanted to see the pricing. The pricing is different for depending on industry, so I wanted to further research that before I went in there to see if it was going to be a good fit. It is a good fit. Lots of people come here a day. I think it's around 150 million hits a day, this website. So this social media website, it's basically a conglomeration of blogs. Okay, so a lot of the brands, this is new, and this is definitely the next frontier. But think of what Twitter is to microblogging. Um, Tumblr is the long form of the microblog. Okay, so there's no restrictions. You don't have to limit yourself to 140 characters. There is a lot of interaction, a lot of uh, the big trend right now on the net is animated GIFs. So you're gonna see a lot of that here. It's a blog. Okay, so there's a lot of the brands are on here because it's Tumblr is growing in popularity by every month. So the reason why I wanted us to be on this platform is because when they're growing their usership, something like 21,000 new signups a day. So you want to definitely be at the frontier and get the marketing while it's cheap, because at the end of the day, they're people, and you can target on Tumblr by the criteria like on Facebook: interest levels, demographics, age, gender, things like that. So this is why we're on here, because at the end of the day, they're consumers. Okay, so they consume. So that's why we're on Tumblr too. And I'll roll out that marketing with Tumblr coming soon. Instagram, the actual Instagram profile is coming soon. So as far as social media, that's where we are. It's pretty comprehensive. Like I said, I have a strategy for each platform, and that's more important. And obviously, I told you why we're on them. We're on social media for lead generation, a buzz around the brand, and it's a traffic source. It is a source of traffic for us. Because in the beginning, search engine optimization, well, for one, the search engine optimization we did on the site that you and I did together, actually, that's not going to take into effect until a considerable amount of time. We're looking at least a year, okay, for that to really, really fully kick in. So in the meantime, we're going to need to acquire traffic. We're going to need to use paid methods to acquire traffic sources. So that's why we're on here. That's why we're on these networks. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter because they have traffic already. We're trying to siphon some of that traffic onto the website, and then once they're on there, they can have a look at the products, and then hopefully we generate leads from that, and then close those, convert. Okay. traffic sources. Google Plus, like I said, and Tumblr, they're good for search engine results, especially on the search engine results page. You know, if we're active on Tumblr, which we will be, we're active with our blog that's on the site. So by that, I mean the blog post that I did today, and I'll get to the site in a second. Okay, so let's see. So the blog on the site. Okay, so as you see here, we have the Facebook. I scripted this little Facebook Lightbox, actually the Facebook widget here, and we have the Twitter Connect, Twitter live feed here, little Twitter API widget that I made right here, and then we also have the Google Plus badge here. Let's see, MailChimp should be here, right? So there's a subscribe list to the email. Okay, so and that's what I mean by blog. So my first post was "Hello world, welcome to the Clothing Hub," and we go through this post here. Actually, up here, we go through the post right here. You know, obviously, we'll see share this. It's a socially connected blog. Okay, so they can share. Right here, I scripted this little these little social share buttons here, so they can share on Facebook. And when they do share, when they share with the product, actually, it'll actually a picture of the product will come up. So that's pretty cool too. So what do I mean by that? Sorry for going off on a little tangent. Okay. So the customer goes here. Okay, they'll see this and they can share the product. You know? So the thumbnail would be this. So like I said, this is with the WPCMS we're using right now. It's not the best solution for this, but that's one thing that WPCMS is really good at is social integration. And obviously, you know, PHP MySQL in a box, you can do whatever you want. You can scale it to whatever you want. Is this the right application? No, probably not. But still, when you share a product, when you share something like this and their friends see it, it creates the contagion effect. And that's why social media marketing, especially with the trends that are happening right now, especially with retail, this is what's leading to the sales. Just simple share buttons like that. So definitely, like I said, this is why this is going to work. Okay, so we know why we're on Google, we know why we're blogging, we know why we're using Tumblr. Good for SERP, and it's also good to get the conversation started. And what do I mean by that? People who go on websites and they comment and they leave when we have like a good blog post and they leave comments and they comment and they share those comments with their friends. You know, that's all about getting a conversation started. You know, and the more people are talking, the more people are going to revisit the site. The more people are on the site, they'll start looking around. The more they look around, the more likely they are to buy. It all is this enveloping strategy that's all coming together, you know? And so this is why content is king. This is why the trend, especially with e-commerce, this is why a lot of companies have started doing this. And a lot of them, you know, they haven't figured out how to do this. I know how to do this. And this is what makes what's about to happen like not only special, but incredibly profitable. All right. We talked about traffic sources. All right. So the Magento Ghost project, obviously, we can't stay on this, okay, for too long. We got to move this entire thing within the next 2-3 months. Okay, so for the next 30 days, I'm going to start building on Magento. Now, why am I doing this? Okay, well, let's take a look. Magento is the right solution for your store. Okay, and we talked about why. Scalability. Like WordPress is to blogs what Magento is to e-commerce. There's so many pre-built functions in Magento that will. All right, let's just. Magento was made for e-commerce. Okay, there are just so many pre-built functions that are geared towards strict e-commerce, like with WordPress. And what I mean by pre-built functions, you look at WordPress and you go to the WordPress dashboard, and you'll see a lot of the control panel here is geared towards blogging, not for store, not for store. What makes this entire thing a store is the WooCommerce plugin. So WooCommerce, really, what it is if you have a blog and you're selling maybe like 10, 20 items, that's when you use like WooCommerce, because it's not really a store. It's just a blog that sells items and you need like a basic shopping cart. WooCommerce has gotten much better. They've gotten more advanced because the plugin is widely used. When we talk about output, okay, when we talk about output and we talk about scalability and we talk about um, the appropriate right. I'm a terrible speller. When we talk about the appropriate, okay, well, when we talk about the proper solution, we talk. It's late. Sorry. When we talk about the proper solution, you know, and we talk about needs, okay, we need a shopping cart. We don't need just any shopping cart. We need a full-time shopping cart. We need a shopping cart to do a lot of things. We need it to be able to log invoices, to track shipments with however we want to create shipping classes. WooCommerce has that. Magento has much more advanced shipping options, tracking transactions, billing agreements, terms and conditions, system configuration setups, reports, promotions, things like that. This is not a blog. This is a straight e-commerce shopping site. This database was built for a store like yours. You look at the WordPress dashboard, it was built for a blog. You have posts, all posts, media, pages. This was made for a blog. And this doesn't mean there's anything wrong with WordPress. It's the best blog platform on the planet and the most widely used CMS on the planet. The Huffington Post uses WordPress. Okay, so, and the New York Post does as well. Okay, some of the top sites in the world use WordPress. One, for its ease of use. Obviously, WordPress is for everybody. However, it can get advanced because if you even go here in the editor, this is where we talk about scalability. You can turn the site into whatever you want. Okay, so obviously you can modify the functions.php, you can modify the header, you can modify the theme functions, the footer, the templates. You can do all this without a theme, which is what I can do. Okay, but at the end of the day, it inherits already what's pre-built, and that's for a blog. Okay, so that's why I started, and that's why I'm going to start uh, the Magento Ghost project, so that I'm adding those products, so that in 30 days we can just shift everything over, leave this site up, but turn it into a blog. Because blogging is still important. We still need the blog, but this is going to be our publishing platform, not our e-commerce store. Because what's going to happen is when you get to 2,000, 3,000 products, we're gonna have to make the move anyway. We might as well just get started. So that'll be done in 30 days. Okay, I'm calling it a ghost project because it's something that it's something that I'm gonna work on every day, but I'm not gonna add the 100 products. Okay, like within 2 weeks, it's gonna be like a 30-day thing where I'm adding like 10 products a day so that we can move the inventory over. Okay, because we need to do that. WordPress is not the appropriate solution. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about email capture. This is important. You talked about your competitor doing a mailing and they made ridiculous boatloads of money with it in terms of gross. So what we have here with what we have now is an email capture system. It's through MailChimp, a email marketing software. So I created a MailChimp account and we have a general subscriber list. Okay. So let me show you how that works. Right now we have no subscribers. Okay, so this is a general subscription list. Let me demonstrate this on a browser that doesn't have a cookie on it. Okay, so when somebody goes to the clothinghub.com, somebody goes to the clothinghub.com, okay, I have the promotion running right now, 10% off. I put that because that's the hashtag that I'm promoting on Twitter. So if you take an extra 10% off with the coupon code THC1, uh, extra 10% off. Okay. All right. So remember that pop up, we can make an email pop up, we can make it whatever we want. Okay. The days we feel like getting an email pop up, the days we feel like collecting email addresses, we can make them an email. We can make those email pop ups or those light boxes, we call them in web parlance, web development parlance. So we'll go to the blog. Okay, so we have the blog. So this is the oops. Okay, so this is the email address sign up form right here. So somebody would put in like Eric.Smith. Okay, and then we join now. Okay. Thank you for joining our mailing list. Please check your email for a confirmation link. So let me go to my email if I can get to it. All right, and we'll get the email. So as you see, uh, the Clothing Hub subscriber list, right? We got that. And here it is. So it's a double opt-in form, okay? So it's a general subscriber list. So yes, subscribe me to this list. So it's going to redirect them back to MailChimp. Direct them back to, let's see what it does. What did I set up? Okay, so obviously it says subscription confirmed. Continue to our website. So just continue. It redirects them right back to the website after they opt in. Now, why would they opt in? There's some laws called the CAN-SPAM laws. So customer has to, because of all the spam that was going on in like 2000, 2003, whatever, they came up with a law. So now you can't just collect an email address. People have to actually opt into your email list. You can't just harvest email addresses and put people on a list. So this is spam can compliant. So you're asking yourself, okay, well, where did that person's email address go to? Okay, so well, let's go find out. Okay, so it's going to be in the general subscriber list. These two pieces of software communicating with each other through the MailChimp application program interface. So the MailChimp application program interface is on the website. So if you go here, excuse me, and you go to the blog, this is an extension of the MailChimp application program interface. So MailChimp is communicating with your site. Well, how are they doing that? Okay, so well, let's find out. So we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to the MailChimp widget. That's the MailChimp application program interface key. Permission for MailChimp to basically communicate with your website, basically your content management system. Okay, well, how did I get the MailChimp application program interface key? How did I get that? Okay, well, let's find out. So I went to your account settings. I went to extras, and I got an API key, permission to do that. Okay, so this is the key. This is how they're, well, this is just to tell you what the API is doing that day, calls by the day. Okay, so people are using it. So we have the API key. Okay, permission to use for MailChimp to basically carry out their function on your CMS. Okay, so now let's go to the list. Okay, so it should say that we have one subscriber because it collected that email address. Remember, I opted in. So let's just manage subscribers, view subscribers. Okay, it'll probably take like 5 minutes to show up. But the subscribers go here. So you're saying, okay, then still, what is it? Okay, well, we use this to create email campaigns. Remember we talked about that email blast that your competitor had, right? So they have software similar to this. They're probably using something else. They're probably using something like Constant Contact or one of those ridiculously expensive ones. Or they probably, with the amount of revenue they make, they probably have their own custom. I can build you a custom one. It'll cost you, you know, we'll discuss that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But they create the campaign here, regular old campaign, and we could send to the entire list. So we could send offers, coupons, specials, things of that nature, all through this service here. MailChimp is free up to 2,000 subscribers. After that, they have a very, very affordable rate. And once we start getting a lot of subscribers, you'll know what that is. So then MailChimp will then email the person who subscribed and said, your subscription to our list has been confirmed. For our records, here's a copy of the information submitted to us. They can always unsubscribe at any point. Most people just take these emails and they dump them anyway and they forget. If they want to unsubscribe, they really don't even like go through the lens of doing it because people just don't have time. But I'm talking about when we're talking about unsubscriptions, just as from what I've seen. Unless you're like annoying and you mail people all the time, then that's a problem. And we won't be doing that. But that's the beauty of email, and that's why email marketing is important because with email, these people want to hear from you. Remember that I got that in my email, and they subscribed to it. So imagine just even like 300-400 emails. Those are 400 people that want to hear from you. You almost can't. It's so effective. It's more effective than let's say putting together like an AdWords campaign. Okay, and somebody comes on the site, they visit. 98% of the people leave anyways. They visit, but let's say they come on the site and they fill in an email address. They are saying, yes, I want to hear from you. That's important, especially in today's world, especially online. There's so many distractions. So that's why email marketing is important, because it's your direct communication channel with your customer. They're more, because they want to hear from you. Think about that. It implies that they trust you. So that's huge. It's incredibly huge, and that's why email marketing, even though it's like been around for so long, it's the most effective way to market. All right, so we talked about it. Sorry for going off on tangent, but I'm really passionate about this stuff. All right, PPC. Okay, we need you to set up your AdWords campaign account. I just need a credit card for that. You need to put in the credit card information, and that'll handle the display network. And then the CSCs. This was all had to do with my traffic sources, but the CSCs are in motion. There's where Nextag, Shopzilla, Google PLA, all that good stuff. PPC. So the reason why I put that here is because that was one of the traffic sources that we were talking about. Remember, we were talking about traffic sources, paid methods to get the traffic. So SEO would take into effect, and then retargeting, which is like the last thing I'll cover and probably one of the most important. So what is retargeting? Let's just exit out of this. Let's exit out of this. Let's exit out of this. Let's exit out of this. Okay, so what is retargeting? Let me just go on the site. I might be able to demonstrate this live. Okay. When somebody comes on a website, 98%, even if it's Amazon, 98% of those people never convert. They leave. So with retargeting, what it does is it follows them on the internet and it will serve them an ad because it knows they've been on the site. It'll show them an ad enticing them. Usually those ads are just in certain cases those ads are just ads. In other cases, there are ads that entice them to come back on the site by like maybe offering like a further discount or free shipping or whatever. Okay? So let me demonstrate this to you. So let me go to Andrew Christian. Andrew Christian Boyfriend. Yeah, right. Okay. So as you see here, I came on this site. Now, look, I think it's a great, it's too interactive, okay, and it's too loud. Um, Definitely too loud, okay. He's clearly knows his audience, and that's his audience, okay. Like this stuff here, I wouldn't put this stuff here, like whatever. But like, he's catering to a uh, a specific audience. Okay, this is not Haynes. Okay, this is definitely a level. It's a provocative website. Okay, so it's almost like a pornographic site. Okay, and this is not to take away from uh, how their marketing is done or whatever, but it's easy to do this. Okay, because because people people love uh, uh, people love this kind of stuff. Okay, there's a lot of perversion that goes on online. Okay, um, so this is not hard to do. Okay, um, again, this is with all respect. So when I leave this site, watch what happens when I go on another site. Let's say I go to, let me just say I go to TMZ or something. Okay, I might see his ads here somewhere because they're going to retarget me. I know they are. All right. I just want to demonstrate this live because I know I'm going to see I'm going to see his ad somewhere. I just want to demonstrate it to you. I hate this website, by the way. All right. Well, we'll try another site. You'll get my point in about a second. So let's go to. Let's see. Nexus. I'll try something else. Okay. Well, normally what you would see is you would see Andrew Christensen ads here because they would have dropped a pixel onto the site. It's not doing that because the pixel expired when I was last on the site, so it knows that I've been on the site before. I was just on there like snooping around. But another example of this is let's say I go to HostGator, right? So we go on the HostGator, okay? So boom, I'm on HostGator. They just deposited a pixel right on my browser, okay? Right on the browser here. They deposited a pixel, and they deposited a cookie. Now watch what happens when I go to another site. Let me go back to Nexus to Africa. So HostGator knows, they know that I left their site without converting. So they're going to try to show me ads again. I just want, okay, you see that? They just showed me ads. Let's try that one more time. Okay, you see that? That's retargeting. They knew I didn't convert, so they showed me those ads all over again. Okay, so they put a little pixel. So on your site, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna be retargeting. And AdRoll, what AdRoll does is when we create ads in AdRoll, when we create campaigns in AdRoll, it'll deposit little cookies on people's site, on people's browsers. So it will follow them around the net and it'll show them our ads if they don't convert. And how does it know this? It tells us the visitor data on the site. So there's a pixel that's on the footer of our web page. Okay, so if we go here, dashboard, we go to appearance. Let's go to editor. Let me go to the footer.php. Okay, so this pixel has been deposited on the footer.php because the footer is on every page. Okay, so as you can see here, and roll. Okay, so if you can see here, this is the ad roll script that I scripted, that I put in here, that I coded in here. Okay, so as you can see, ad roll is working. So how do we know ad roll is working, you may ask? Okay, when we go here, it says it's reading the script that I put in here. Okay, in addition to that, it's tracking the site. So it's saying that we've had 18 unique visitors, and then look at what else it does. Okay, it says 62 page views, blah 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 blah. But what it's doing now is, now that we've had those 18 unique visitors. Hold on one second. I wanted to show you this. Let me go through segmentation. Cancel this. Okay, so as you can see, you see this little duration 90-day thing right here? That means that when we create our ads, that's the duration of how long those ads are going to be served. Because the pixel's there. The pixel, they know where they are on the net. So the pixel is there. So that's when the cookie expires. So we'll be able to show our ads there for 90 days on to that person. So these people, through their partners, through Facebook, Google, the Google Display Network, they'll be able to serve those ads again and again and again. So those people who aren't converting, right? Those people who sort of like, they ignore, um, they come on the page, they don't like anything and they leave. They don't even spend time on the page and they leave. Well, we'll be able to we'll be able to know who they are, and we'll be able to reserve those ads to them. It's remarkably effective. Conversions are higher because you get more than one time to be in front of them. Okay, so this is why everybody's retargeting. So that's that. Uh, so when I said pixel, the smart pixel's right here. This is the script for it. Okay, so it's reading from our site. So that's what that means when I scripted that in there. So that, which I told you right here in the footer, is what I scripted, and it was suffice for AdRoll. So worked out pretty great. Great tool. And you can track conversions. You can segment, like it'll know what page they're going to, and it'll serve. We can create different ads for that segment. So in this case, I created a segment called activewear. So people who go on activewear, we can serve them specific ads about that activewear section. You know, like 20% off, 10% off, or just ads in general. You know, that speak to that particular segment. We can segment visitors, like I just said, and they also have really good reporting. You know, once we get a lot of traffic, we'll be able to get the reporting. So we have user analytics here. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? All right, so it went somewhere. All right, I'll take a look at this. Oh, here it is. It's an XLS format. But anyways, you get it. So, you know, this is definitely much more. There's a lot that's going on here. Okay, so I use a combination of things. Okay, to track our what people are saying about social media. All of that is tracked here. There's also to manage the social media profiles and also to do like further analytics and testing. I'm using a tool over here just to make sure who's talking what, who's saying what. And there's a lot that's going on. There's a lot that's happening. Okay, this is some advanced stuff. This is not something that was what you had before. This is a data-driven marketing strategy. You know, this is like professional. This is this. This essentially is where the pros play. You know, this is not the court for amateurs. And obviously, you're working with a professional. You know, you're working with somebody who's knows the results, who's seen the results, who's produced the results, and knows exactly where to take you. So, you know, this is definitely this is not for amateurs. So, you know, there's not a lot of people that would do this for you for the money, obviously, but with at least 3,000 retainers, you know, just to have them around, you know, and to be honest with you, a lot of them are not good. You know, I'm probably the best that there is right now, you know, and I hate to, you know, put and be arrogant or whatever. I'm not being arrogant. I'm just telling you, I have piles of data to show you that all of this is working because for one, I'm an industry insider, and two, if you do what I say, like I said, you're going to get the results. You know, you'll be bigger than, you know, those competitors that I mentioned. It will take time. It's not going to happen, um, you know, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or in 6 months. You know, this is something that's longer term. You'll see results, okay, and you'll see a return on your investment. But um, when, as far as time is concerned, it won't be next month. You know, it'll be a steady march onward because with everything that I just talked about, all of that takes time to work. What's more important right now is traffic, sourcing the traffic, getting the traffic there, and then determining which is the best, which is the most qualified of the traffic. Thank you very much, and I'm really happy to be working with you.